Welcome, new and old friends. My name is 242, and today, 2 got us 6 Glitch in the Matrix stories. But that's not all. She also got hair-raising narratives and PA nightmares to join me to help tell these stories. So, turn off your lights, make sure your doors and windows are locked. Things are about to get spooky. Seeing someone stare at me from the crack in the ceiling tiles, I quickly alerted the staff about a potential peeping Tom. When the news vans arrived to cover the story, the police brought out another corpse from the crawl space, increasing the body count to 7. The glitch that basically created a second me. By Julia's Quiet Place. When I signed up for university, I went to campus for the first time to make it all official. I waited in line behind all the excited first years to be. When it was my turn, I sat down behind the desk of the woman who was sorting the enrollments. They asked me the usual information to get started. First name, last name, date of birth. After I had given the woman this information, she frowned and looked very confused. Miss, you can't be enrolled in the course because you've already signed up 3 days ago. Now, I was equally confused as she was. Excuse me? This must be an error. I definitely haven't. The woman looked back at her computer screen and once again confirmed my first name, last name, and date of birth with me. Nope, I'm afraid that's not an error. You enrolled in a nursing program 3 days ago. I just sat there, completely baffled. Started panicking slightly. I wasn't there to become a nurse. I wanted to become a teacher. This woman turns her computer screen to me and goes, "See? Photo and everything." When I see the photo on the screen, I'm even more confused. That girl looks nothing like me. She's got completely different features and, well, she's blonde and I've got red hair. We come to the conclusion that the girl must have the same first and last name as me. And, what an odd coincidence, she's also born on the same day. They fixed the problem by adding an apostrophe to my name in the system, and frankly, I don't think about it much more after that. Until about a year or so later, I started receiving emails, phone calls, letters, bills, all addressed to me, but meant for the mysterious other girl. I got phone calls about lost items, bills for insurance companies, emails for hospital appointments, you name it. Naturally, I tried to find this girl on social media to get in touch with her and make her aware of what's going on. After loads of searching, she doesn't use her full name on Facebook, I finally managed to find her. That's when I make some creepy discoveries. Not only does she have the same first name, last name, and date of birth as me, her sister also has the same name as my sister. I find out whereabouts she lives, which is only 1 street away from my previous apartment. And I find out she scheduled a hospital appointment for a health issue I also have. At this point, I have tried reaching out to her on multiple occasions, to no avail. I just can't seem to get in touch with her, and the instances of mistaken identity just keep piling up. Seriously considering changing my name at this point. Update. Lots of people are saying about it possibly being identity theft. I think that's very unlikely because of the fact that we all use ID cards where I live. And when I have to use my ID card, there's never been any problem. So she must have a unique number on hers and hasn't just copied mine. Also, I found out through a picture of her diploma on social media that she's got a different place of birth to me. Just wanted to mention before we continue on our stories that Julia's Quiet Place is also a YouTuber, and her links are down below. When I saw a little girl running out of an alley crying for help, my only thought was how to save her. When I saw what was chasing her come out of the alley, my only thought was how to save myself. Another Me? By OrdinaryHobbit. Narrated by PA Nightmares.
This happened about 3 years ago. I had recently switched positions at Walmart. I started working on Fresh Cap 2. The shifts were 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Back then, we would work bakery, deli, meat, and produce. We were also the ones usually put in charge of working the 97 wall, lunch meat, Lunchables, and bacon. One night, around maybe 9 p.m., our team was told to stock as much on the 97 wall as we could. As me and my teammates are working, our team lead calls over to me and asks me to clean up water on the floor in front of the deli counter. I'm not good at estimated distances, but the deli counter is maybe 30 feet away from the 97 wall. Not very far at all. You can see part of the deli counter from 97. I had a box of lunch meat with a couple items left in it. I get a little frazzled sometimes when making decisions quickly, so I kind of went back and forth in my mind, deciding whether I should quickly stock the items left in the box or hurry to clean up the water. My team lead made it sound urgent, so I ended up setting the box with the items in it down on the shelf and went to grab paper towels. I thought to myself, quickly clean up the water, then you can finish this box and cart of freight. After I finished cleaning up all the water, which only took a few minutes, I went back over to finish stocking that box I left. When I returned, the box was gone. I saw it had been broken down already, sitting on the cardboard cart. I was confused, so I asked my teammate who was there the whole time if she had worked it for me and that she didn't have to. I was going to come back for it. What she told me freaked me out. She said that I did it. She said she saw me stocking the items, then even pull out my box cutter to break the box down. All I can remember is contemplating whether or not I should stock it before or after cleaning up the water spill, and choosing to clean the spill up first. But she said that she saw me do it. I'm pretty freaked out afterwards. I'm a Gemini, so I joked that it was my second alter personality that came out and did it for me. Or that me from another dimension slipped through to do it. I don't know, but it still weirds me out thinking about it from time to time. I don't know if it was a glitch in the dimension/universe or a glitch in my mind. I wanted so badly to ask management if they could show me the cameras to see what happened. I knew they wouldn't though. They would just look at me like I'm a lunatic.
It's very dark on the highway, but I know I ran over something a while back. That's why I don't want to look in the rearview mirror, because I'm driving at 100 kilometers per hour, and I can still hear it chasing me.
My Wall Socket by Unfair Judge 623.
Narrated by Hair Raising Narratives.
I live with and care for my mother, as much as she'll let me. I currently live in the same house in which I was brought home from the hospital. Growing up, I shared a room with my sister who was about 7 years older than me. We'd had bunk beds that you could take apart and make single beds with. This is important because the logistics of the room were the same around the house. Each wall has an outlet plug with the exception of the walls that have a closet on them. Not enough room. My sister wanted to be near an outlet. Being a teenager, she wanted to play music out of the boombox while we slept. It needed to be plugged in. She had the wall with the window. She had an outlet to use that was under the window. Fast forward 40 years. Our house, with us being pretty poor, had not ever been remodeled. We are lucky that it got a new roof when needed. I moved back here about 10 years ago. My life gets quite busy and I don't have time to use my room for anything but sleep. I have plenty of energy-sucking machines I need plugged in and use all of the outlets around my room, including the outlet under the window. I changed my room around quite frequently at the time and finally decided on the current setup I have now. My bed is against the wall on high bedposts, so there is plenty of room under my bed for storage. I can see all of my outlets on each wall from under the bed. If I were in construction, I would have known the outlets would have been placed at the same height around the house, but I didn't think anything of it. I know that now. 5 years pass. I set up a desk. I find I need outlets for my computer and peripherals. I start to plug in an extension cord to add to the 6-plug outlet extender, and I find the outlet under my window isn't available. I look under my bed, which is very heavy, and can't remember if the outlet was placed on the wall at the same height as the other outlets in my room. I can't see the outlet I'm looking for. I can see the one on the opposite wall, so I start to feel around for it where I know it should be. No outlet. I squeeze my hand between the walls and bed. No outlet. I look where I know it shouldn't be. Still, no outlet. No outlets on the damn wall. Very frustrating. I give up. I finally get my 12-foot extension cord and plug it on the opposite wall. It plugs everything in that I need it for. I've been to more therapy than most and thought I was remembering my home from childhood wrong, even though I used the damn outlet prior to moving my bed. My family told me all the time that they didn't remember the same things that I did. I've taken in a feral cat with a broken leg. He spends most of his time under my bed. I change out his pee pads a couple of times a day. I found myself staring at the place the plug would be yesterday. No socket. No plug. No outlet. Thinking that I couldn't be remembering wrong. I was right. I changed those pee pads out today, and the plug was staring at me in the face. A 3-prong outlet, empty, with another above it, blocked by my bed, made itself visible today. Exactly where it should have been left. Within easy reach if I wanted to plug in an extension cord. What else is my house hiding from me? What haven't I noticed? I'll update if it tries to hide again. This couldn't be more boring. Making me go apeshit.
Apparently, you can glitch in real life. Now I'm falling through the earth, quickly heading for the core. Just witnessed a glitch, cross dimensions? By Humbly Human 888. This literally happened 10 minutes ago. My boyfriend, 20 male, and I, 20 female, are up early waiting to go to the tag and title office, running some menial errands in the meantime while we wait for the office to open. We have a busy downtown street that the office is adjacent to. The street is full of cute local shops and restaurants. We're driving down the street. At the very end of the street, I look at the driver's side window, the left of me, and see The Spot, which is a new hip restaurant that just opened up. I was bewildered because The Spot should be on the right side and towards the front of the street. I would know as I've eaten there before and I also worked at the restaurant right behind them. I pointed this out to my boyfriend and say, "What the heck? The Spot has opened a second location on the same street?" And my boyfriend acts like it's always been there. "What are you talking about? That's where we ate with our neighbors that one time." And I was like, "No, the spot we went to is right by Old Little's. It's on the other side and towards the front of Canal Street." My boyfriend kind of blew me off like he didn't want to argue with me. I was so confused. I looked at the spot, I saw the building next to it. I noticed that it was exactly the same but mirrored, where the sign was facing the same direction to counteract the fact that it was all on the left side of the street now. I know I wasn't seeing a reflection because we were all the way at the end of the street. I loop through and drive down the street again, in the same direction. I find the spot that I remember exactly where it should be. Now it's on the right of me. All the signs are facing the right way. Where at the beginning of the street, the buildings around it are the same as always. I pointed out yet again. See? There's the location I remember. Why is there two? This time, my boyfriend has absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. I explain what just happened, and he doesn't understand and just starts teasing me. I was annoyed and decided I'd show him. I continued to drive down the street. I got to where I saw the other spot, and it wasn't there. I'm so confused right now. This literally just happened, and I know what I saw. I drove down the street 3 more times looking in both directions, and there was only one spot, exactly where it should be. I'm so bewildered right now. I have no idea what just happened. I desperately tried to find the wedding ring, knowing that my husband would get very angry if I didn't. I had promised that I would never leave evidence in a crime scene again. My boyfriend says he drank something I offered him, but I didn't. By redravenkitty. Narrated by PA Nightmares.
I don't necessarily believe in this whole concept of glitch in the Matrix, but I have no explanation for this. It freaked me out so much that it's burned into my brain. It was between 6 to 12 months ago. I was standing at the dining room table at my boyfriend's place, fixing myself this medical thing I have to drink. It's OTC, but I'm not one to share it because it literally tastes like dirt, and it's expensive. BF was about 5 feet away, fiddling with these portable lights from his photography hobby. I was standing there watching him while I measured and stirred my drink. It suddenly occurred to me that he would find it impressively stinky, so I held it out to him and said, "Here, smell this." We walked a couple of steps towards each other and met in the middle. I held the glass under his nose to smell, and he took a whiff, then recoiled predictably. He exclaimed at how gross it was. I giggled and chugged it, and he went back to his lights. I continued to stand and watch him with his equipment for another 10 to 20 minutes, just keeping him company. We chatted about random things, and then he started to complain about the taste in his mouth. I don't know what he was talking about. He told me from that drink. I stared at him in confusion. He looked at me like I was slow. That drink? Your medical drink? I'm like, yeah, what about it? Feeling hella confused at this point, because how can you have a taste left over in your mouth from smelling something? Like 20 minutes later. I suppose it's possible, but that seems extreme, and it's not like the drink was made in the bowels of hell or something. He says very slow, like he is just as confused as I am. I still have a bad taste in my mouth, left over from when you made me try your drink. I tell him, I didn't make you try my drink. I only made you smell it. I don't know what you're talking about. You never tasted it. Now, we're both looking at each other like the other person has grown an extra head. And he says, yes, you did. You made me try it. I took a drink, and it was so bad. I had to go into the kitchen and rinse my mouth out to get rid of the taste, and it's still there. I tell him, no, I never even handed you the glass. I just held it under your nose for you to smell. And since he is hyper-logical and couldn't explain it, He stared for a moment, said, "Weird," and we went back to working on his lights. Meanwhile, half a year later, I'm still bothered by it. At first, I considered the possibility that he misremembered drinking it simply because the scent stuck around for him so long. But that doesn't explain his memory of going into the kitchen to rinse his mouth at the sink. I was with him for the entire time, and he never left the living room area while he was working on his equipment. I don't know why this got under my skin so bad, but I have some pretty intense anxiety about it. I don't like feeling crazy, and I definitely feel crazy.
I watched her collapse to the ground after I used the knife to sever her spine. My girlfriend had always threatened to run away and leave me, but now she will never be able to leave.
The new hire I spoke to died 3 days ago. By Nevram14.
Narrated by Hair Raisin Narratives.
I work at a financial institution as part of my role. I coordinate training for all new hires within the first few weeks of their onboarding. The process begins when local managers send me the names and contact details of the new hires so I can reach out to them for a brief introduction and to set the expectations of the training material. Prior to the start of the pandemic, I would simply reach out to the new hires at their new office phone number. However, with the new work from home changes, I would now reach out to their mobile numbers and residential phone numbers. All in all, a very similar process to what I was doing before, just with the caveat of having to reach out to people at home. As per usual, I received a new spreadsheet with the names and info of the new hires I needed to contact, when I came across quite a unique name. I picked up my headset and dialed the number provided. New hire.
Hello? This is OP.
Me.
Hi, good morning. This is OP calling from financial institution. Did I catch you at a good time?
New hire.
Yes, this is great. However, could you please call me at my landline? My mobile service is not very reliable in this area.
I wrote down the phone number she provided and we hung up. Immediately, I dialed the phone number and waited for the dial tone. 1 ring. 2 rings. 3 rings. Older woman.
Hello?
Me.
Hi, good morning. My name is OP and I'm looking for new hire. Can I speak to her?
Older woman.
Sorry, who are you?
Me.
I'm OP, calling from financial institution. She asked me to call her back on this line. Is she available?
Silence. Me.
Hello?
Older woman.
What do you mean she asked you to call her back? When?
Me.
I was just talking to her and she said reception in the area is not very reliable and to please call her back at this number.
Older woman.
I'm sorry, but that's impossible. Name of new hire. Died 3 days ago.
Me.
Is this telephone number provided by new hire?
Older woman.
Yes, that is correct.
Me.
I'm sorry. I may have written down the number incorrectly. I apologize for the inconvenience, and I'm very sorry about your loss.
I hung up and was at a loss for words. I somehow managed to write down the wrong number and reached a residence with a recently deceased person who had the same unique name. I'm certain I wrote down the correct number, but it is possible that the poor connection made me write a different number. I don't know what to think. This is an odd coincidence. Edit. I reached back out to the new hire's mobile number and asked her to share the phone number again, and confirmed the number I dialed was correct. I was certain she would give me a different number where the digits were flipped, and it might have just been a small dyslexia moment. I'm not so sure I was pranked by a family member, but it is possible that a senior resident with a mental disability might have answered and given me that info. Regardless, I didn't question the new hire, as it is none of my business if other residents live there and have access to the phone line. The next call I made back out to her landline, the new hire picked up.
My family has been so nice and hasn't started any fights since my legs became paralyzed. I will lose my arms too if it means keeping the peace. And with that, my friends, we're near the end of our video. I'd like to thank the authors for letting me read their stories. I also like to thank Hair Raising Narratives and PA Nightmares for helping me bring these stories to life. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. If you're new, subscribe and turn that pretty little bell to all notifications. Also on screen and down below are all my social medias where you can follow me. And of course, I have an email address as well if you'd like to submit a story. If you'd like to help this channel or podcast, share it with anyone who might enjoy it. If you'd like to help in other ways, I have Patreon, merch, and a PayPal. Now, of course, I would love to get a comment from you, but I gotta get you that Sunday word first. On screen right now and on Twitter is everyone who left me a comment last week. Thank you, everyone. Now, on to this Sunday's word, which is surprise, which means an unexpected or astonishing event, fact, or thing. You know, pretty sure you know what surprise is. So, if you're on YouTube, just leave me a comment down below and you'll be on next week's video. If you're on the podcast, just go to my Twitter, @me, use this word in a sentence, and the same thing will happen. But as always, guys, thank you for watching and listening. It really means a lot. Sleep tight and don't let 42 bite.